KTIK.com.
It's a team effort because there's no I in Prater in the Ballgame. Seriously, think about it. Mike Prater and Johnny Mallory on Sports Radio 95.3 FM and 1350 AM. The Ticket.
All right, appreciate you guys. We'll put that interview, this entire show, will be on our new app, be on KTIK.com, so you can tell your friends. And I want to pass on that story to Jake Plummer. I wonder if the snake remembers hanging out on the beach.
Do I send Jake a text and say, hey, Ricky Williams just threw you and your dad under the bus?
I think you should, dude. I love this show. Here we go, guys. Let's get into appreciate our video audience right now. We have all our video cameras on in the RoPaint.com studio, so you can watch this on our YouTube channel, on all forms of social media, fun stuff there. Prater, Pac-12 Media Days are tomorrow, and unlike most leagues, the Pac-12 releases its preseason poll before the event begins, and this is like hot off the press. The new Pac-12 preseason poll is out.
Yeah, it just came out, I think, in the last 5, 10, 15 minutes at the most. We were just doing that interview, wrapped it up, and then I went on Twitter, and there it was, the Pac-12 preseason media poll. Pac-12 Media Day starts off tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Boise time, 8 a.m. in Los Angeles. It's a one-day deal, but yeah, the preseason poll is out, and that will lead us to one of our topics we're going to hit today. But here it is in order. 1, Utah with 26 first-place votes. Oregon is second with 2 first-place votes. USC comes in at third with 5 first-place votes. Nobody else gets first-place votes in the rest of the order. UCLA, Oregon State. We'll talk about the Beavers here in a second. Followed by Washington, Washington State, Stanford, Cal, Arizona State, Arizona, and the Colorado Buffaloes come in last. I got some issues with Utah and Oregon State. The media thinks they're going to be pretty darn good this year, ballgame.
What's your issue with Utah? They have maybe the best returning quarterback in the league. They went to the Rose Bowl last year. I'm sure they have a host of players coming back. It's Kyle Whittingham. Yep. You are a Ute. You need to be celebrating this, Forrest. Well, what are you doing?
I celebrated Rose Bowl Day, and that was fun and fantastic. I had no problem. I'm a negative fan. I'm the complete opposite of you. JP knows this. I've been bitching and whining, and I'm a negative fan and have been for my entire life. I did enjoy the Rose Bowl despite the loss. I thought it was a beautiful experience, and Utah does have the best returning quarterback in the conference, and Utah does have a lot of players coming back. But the hype surrounding this team is out of control. They're going to compete for a Pac-12 title, but I'm seeing CFP talk. I'm seeing Heisman Trophy talk. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing undefeated talk, and I think that all that is ridiculous. They get USC at home. That's going to be spectacular. They have to play at Oregon. Utah is going to be good, and I'm going to try to be as positive as I possibly can. But the national love that they're getting, the national hype that they're getting, it's almost impossible for this football team to live up to those expectations. It's going to be tough to be a Utah football fan this season.
What's the temperature at Rice Eccles on October 15th? Is it cold enough when USC comes in and they're all bundled up there?
I'm glad you asked. I've already got the tickets for that game.
You're going to that game?
It's Boise State's bye, and it's based on the Boise State schedule. That's what I do every year. I get the Utah schedule, I get the Boise State schedule, I match them up, and then I either go to Utah or Washington State football games on off weekends. The only time that I can go to a game this year, Boise State has a bye, USC's at Utah. Game tickets are secured. There'll be 6 of us in the stands, and we'll be wearing shorts and T-shirts.
That's going to be a blast, man. I'm happy you're going to that game. Also, the Florida game, week 1. We can talk about some of the big non-con matchups. Utah at Florida is certainly one of those, and I think that's a winnable game for Utah, Prater. But George Kliavkoff, man, does he go home at night, or has he and said, honey, did I really take this gig after UCLA and USC make the news that they're leaving in 2024? He will speak tomorrow, and I don't know if there's a commissioner of any league, certainly in the Power 5 at media days, that people are going to want to talk to more than the Pac-12's George Kliavkoff.
His world changed on June 30th. That's when the UCLA announcement came. And he was just absolutely blindsided like everybody else. I think he was on vacation in Montana, if I remember the story right. George Kliavkoff, who so far has been widely regarded as a decent first-year commissioner of the Pac-12. It's almost like it's spring scrimmage. Now we play for real now. His world is turned upside down. He has not spoken publicly since June 30th when that announcement was made.
Yeah.
He's got a conference that has lost all of its expansion leverage. He's got a conference that has on-the-field issues and no CFP future. He's got a conference with a struggling TV network and national relevance that's just swirling down the drain. George Kliavkoff, when you stand up at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning and address the people, address the masses, address your constituents, you're going to have to say something. But I don't think he's got a lot to say. He can't stand up with some big expansion news. He doesn't have the big, ace in his back pocket that he's going to whip out. I think he just has to stand up there and almost be defiant, almost be convincing and confident, almost say solidify and solidarity, and we're going to all stand together and band together like brothers. I think he's got to give one of those emotional rah-rah speeches, and then 20 minutes later, somebody will come in and raid his conference, or he'll go out and raid the Mountain West and do something dumb and crazy like that. So that's the nature of college football. But George Kliavkoff tomorrow has to stand up behind that podium and get serious and look people in the eye and say, the Pac-12 is 107 years old.
Damn.
And it's not going anywhere. He needs to convey that message hard tomorrow.
Yeah, he does. He's got to save this league. Okay. I think I could go to just about any Pac-12, reasonable Pac-12 fan and say, okay, the three most prestigious programs in this league are USC, Oregon, and Washington.
Bingo.
Right?
Bingo. Done. Yep.
There's a new head coach at USC, Oregon, and Washington. What does that say, you think, about this league, that the three most prominent programs all are inserting new cultures there? Nervous? Right?
If I'm a Washington Huskies fan, I'm nervous about Kalen DeBoer and excited. I think there's a chance that he could get it going there. It's certainly going to be an improvement over Jimmy Lake. Oregon, okay, so he's got the famous Georgia after his name, but he's a defensive coordinator. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. It's putting a defensive coordinator on that campus with that football program doesn't make a lot of sense. I know they have Bo Nix at quarterback. I cannot wait to see what Oregon does.
Yeah.
That could go either big or south really, really fast. And then Lincoln Riley is just the rock star in the room. And I know you're really excited, as am I. I love what Lincoln Riley
I think they're going to be a little better than you year one. We'll just see on that.
I just think for the first couple months and the chemistry and the issues and the defensive issues with this football team, you're not going to, for you to expect miracles out of Lincoln Riley in the first 6 weeks of the season, I don't think is fair to him or his football team. It's going to take some time. He's got 2 years in the Pac-12 left, and he's going to get it done. I think the first 6 weeks are going to be a little tough, a little bit of rough, and we're going to see what's happening in that defense. That defense is not going to be good this year.
They have a lot of transfers. We'll see. No conference has had more first-round drafted quarterbacks in the NFL history, in the draft history, than the Pac. Okay, they've had more first-round quarterbacks than any other conference, which is impressive. It's a quarterback league. It always has been. Do you think it still has that stigma? There's so many dudes now who leave to go to the Midwest or the South. That's probably not going to change looking at the future landscape. We mentioned a couple of them, the Utah kid, Dorian Thompson-Robinson there at UCLA. I know, Oregon's got the transfer, Bo Nix. I don't know what the league is at that position. The Arizona State kid transferred down south. We'll see.
At least seven, and maybe 8 Pac-12 quarterbacks are going to have brand new starting quarterbacks. Pac-12 teams are going to have starting quarterbacks, and all 7 of them are going to be transfers. Arizona, Arizona State, USC, Cal, Oregon, Washington, and Wazoo all have transfer quarterbacks. The Pac-12 is just like the Mountain West. Every team takes 2 players down to the mountain to media days. 24 possible players could go to Pac-12 media days. 4 quarterbacks are going. 4.
Yeah, that's probably
6 offensive linemen.
The least they've ever had.
They're taking 6 offensive linemen and 4 quarterbacks to Pac-12 media days, which tells me
transition year?
Well, no, no, not transition year, because this has been going on way too many years. Once again, the Pac-12 is lacking star power. Ballgame, I got a trivia question for you. Who was the last Pac-12 player to finish top 5 Heisman voting?
Gosh, man.
Last Pac-12 player, top
Slappy,
5 Heisman voting.
Swami, Swanson, Samsonite.
4 years ago.
Okay, it was 4 years ago?
He finished 5th in the voting and barely made my list. Gardner Minshew.
It was the shoe?
I can even blow you away even more. The last 3 Heisman Trophy races, 10 finalists, 30 total names. How many of them came from the Pac-12?
3.
0.
Oh,
The Pac-12 hasn't had a top 10 Heisman finalist for 3 consecutive seasons, and the last guy to make top 5 was Gardner frickin' Minshew.
He was a grad tran from with 1 year of eligibility left. Gardner Minshew was like,
yes.
Oh my God, he had a great year, but yeah, I love him.
The talent drain in the Pac-12 is real. It's serious. It's concerning. And I think that's kind of why they're in the position they are in right now. Something happened along the way, and they just woke up, and the world had passed them by.
And as everybody knows, the last time they went to the CFP was Chris Peterson on the Washington Huskies in the 2016 season. 6 seasons ago. The CFP it's not even like a Pac-12 thing.
Nope.
They don't even ever get invited. Okay, quickly. Couple of non-con games opening week of the season. Ducks versus Georgia from Mercedes-Benz Dome, where the Falcons play.
Okay. Georgia, I like that game.
And your Utah Utes in Gainesville against Florida, a battle of the Florida team. They got Billy Napier, the former coach of the Raging Cajuns. So this is his first game. I think they're ripe. Does the Pac-12 have to win? Do they need a split on opening weekend in 2 of those mega non-con matches? And you know this, the Pac-12 usually gets their tail kicked in when they play in these big non-con games. They usually get smoked.
I don't know about getting smoked, but I think that they'll get beat. Both those games, I don't think Oregon can beat Georgia. Utah, here's my feeling. I think Utah will outplay Florida and somehow figure out a way to lose the game. And that's going to be just depressing.
And is that a shot at Whittingham? Is that kind of a Whittingham thing where you kind of...
I'm the guy that once called for Kyle Whittingham to be fired.
Yeah.
And then he went into the Rose Bowl and got a $100 million contract.
Awesome. Did you guys hear what Josh Allen said about Khalil Shakir after Buffalo Bill practice today? JP has it, and we have it for you. It's next. And don't forget, it's officially concert season. Go to livenation.com/Summers Live, and you can see the complete schedule, and you can get that all-in 4 shows pack for just $80. I'm talking Korn. I'm talking Flogging Molly. I'm talking Daughtry. I got way more on that list as well if you just go to livenation.com. Yeah, Josh Allen on Shaq next.
This is Idaho Sports Talk with Prater